Hey y'all, still no company name yet, but whatever company name, insert company name here, provides comfort and control in your home. Our system prevents hot spots, cold spots, and thermostat arguments in your home by providing precise custom temperature control in each room. So this week was a lot of fun with the revenue model and the partners. I was surprised by the test pricing interviews. I think it was 12 people. They kind of sold themselves, which was surprising to me. So I was explaining what the system was. I gave a little speech there about what we do. And then whenever they asked more detail about what the system was, I explained how it just replaces the little registers and then the thermostat. And thermostats for if you don't want to use your cell phone, you can control all the rooms from that one thermostat, so you don't have to have an app or anything. Or you can have the app if you want. And I figured out for the average house, it was going to be about $2,000 to $2,500 would be the total system cost. And what surprised me is not only were people like interested, but they started defending it too. They're like, well, that's not really much of anything. Like if you're having air conditioning issues, a new unit. One guy said, I haven't bought one in years, but one guy said that his new system was like $8,000 just for the air conditioner. And then one guy pretty much said, I've thought about this, but one guy pretty much said similar is it's much cheaper if the system is not done properly. Let's say that your air conditioner is fine, but the system's improperly designed. Well, it's either spend this $2,000, $2,500, or you can have contractors come in, rip out your ceilings, redo all the ductwork, put all the ceilings back. So not only is it frustrating, but it'd be a heck of a lot more expensive. So learning about value pricing based on just those relative handful of interviews. Pricing by cost, like I was doing, is definitely the wrong way to go. Apparently there's a whole lot more value. Of course, that's a handful of test price interviews. No one asked if they could buy it today or anything, but it's still interesting. As far as my revenue model, just direct sales for now. Not necessarily like direct to the person, but just sales, selling the system up front. Maybe some kind of financing in the future. And then I've kind of dropped this part a little bit, but in the beginning, I talked about doing like a maintenance subscription thing. And I'll jump ahead a little bit. This will be one of the partnership things where maybe I could partner with an air filter company or something. So there'd be possible subscriptions where we send air filters every 3 months, and then once a year, a little bit of bleach or something for putting down the drain line with videos and stuff explaining all that. So there's some possible subscription revenue there, but I think the biggest thing is just going to be the direct sales and a little bit of financing there, just given the nature of the product. There's a chance to do some bundling versus individual parts. So maybe if you get the whole kit where it's 10, 12, 15 registers plus the thermostat, maybe you get a certain amount off versus when you buy them all. Or maybe if you buy 10 registers or 15 registers or something, you get a little bit of a discount there as well. And then if things work out in the future where there is a subscription, maybe you get a discounted subscription for the first 3 months, 6 months, whatever, when you buy a new system. Something to kind of get them used to it. As far as pricing, as I said, right now it's been based on estimated cost, which to me has always been kind of the minimum more than anything. So the estimated cost was about $40. So I was shooting for $150 to $160 for the sell price. But I was expecting on going up some. That's something that I've learned a lot in my regular job is value pricing. We had a particular product that for most industrial products that save energy like ours, People think it's a great deal if they can have an 18-month payback period. If it's 18 months, they'll buy it all day long. We had one that was priced at 3, and we were already making good money with a 3-month payback period. So that's where I really learned a lot about pricing based on value instead of just the cost. So I already had that in mind, but doing the test pricing really showed me how far off this system may be. Again, based on like the 12 people I interviewed. The key financial metrics for now would be obviously some key financial measurement would be some of the more basic that should apply to most people, like your cost of goods sold, whatever your profit margin is, the total pieces sold. But one thing that I think as of right now would be pretty important in the beginning, especially when you kind of have to get your name out there with this being a product that's not like, it's not something like if I was to open a company that sold cans of green beans, well, all I'd have to do is just get with a few grocery stores, and that could be the extent of my marketing efforts. This is something where people can buy online. They can also buy from Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that, but it's really it's not something you're going to stumble upon or go looking for, because it's a brand new system. It's something that people don't have, that doesn't really exist right now. All I have to say, there's going to be a lot of marketing. So I would want to track a lot of the ROI on marketing, but a little bit more granular. It's not just like the general, oh, we threw $20,000 out there and our sales went up by 50%, which that would be great. But a little bit more granular to, okay, where did we put this money? And there's different methods you can use, different keywords, or if it's the easiest way is if it's like a links on a website or something, where when someone clicks that link in an article or whatever, it comes to your website. You can track that and know where it goes there. But there's other methods for more general blast marketing where you can look at keywords. Sometimes people even use different phone numbers for one magazine you put this phone number, the other magazine you put that phone number. Whichever phone number gets the most calls, it's the magazine that's brought you the most stuff. So some way of measuring the ROI, not just in general of marketing, but more specifically of which marketing channel is bringing you the most ROI. What risks are involved? I think the biggest risks on this are going to be the marketing efforts not educating people well enough. Or in better words, me/whoever would be involved doing this stuff, just not doing a good enough job of communicating it properly and reaching the right people. Competitors, kind of difficult because there's only 2 competitors who kind of do something similar-ish. But they are focusing mainly on just their websites and the one that has it, the Amazon posting. Even when you search their product specifically, it's really the only thing that comes up. There are some small online articles discussing one of the companies. It's like a startup. So it wasn't even like about the product and like, oh, hey, look at this awesome, great thing. It was more of like, hey, here's this new company and it started here and all this stuff. And then like, oh, and they do smart air vents that you can turn off and on with your phone. Like the focus wasn't, oh, hey, you've got this problem, or, oh, I see that you're looking for ways to fix your home cooling system or save energy with your home or something, and then those pop up. It was, you kind of had to be specifically looking for that company to stumble across it. So partners, I wasn't able to interview any partner candidates because probably because don't know the right channels or something. But the biggest supplier or the biggest partners I'd have would be some suppliers, obviously, to supply parts. The contract manufacturers, probably for the beginning, and I just Googled a few contract manufacturers and tried to send some emails, but they didn't really get anything back. And then There's some possible joint ventures I could do with like some AC manufacturers, or possibly even license the idea out to some manufacturers so they sell it as their system. Again, emails, no response, not yet at least. And then maybe if I did the subscription thing, maybe some kind of a strategic alliance with a filter company, or maybe even another company that does smart home devices, so it can just like integrate easily into their systems as well. For suppliers, some of the risks would be, as we've seen, well, we're pretty much out of it now, but as we've seen for most of the past 3 years, no parts or jacked up pricing, something like that. For the joint ventures with the AC manufacturers, maybe they would be expecting products going to them to be higher priority than other customers, and almost kind of informally take control of the company just by volume, to where, hey, you pretty much just solely fill our orders now. And then the strategic alliance, you're getting with another company like the filter company or another smart home company. You're kind of stuck with them a little bit too much. So if they kind of cancel the whole thing, or they start dragging the project down in one of like a million ways, you're tying yourself closely to an entity that you don't really have much control to. So there's just like a ton of things that could be going on with that. But as far as incentives and impediments, obviously the incentive is going to be, we're going to bring some value to some people. But more specifically, contract manufacturers, I don't know that I'm really going to talk about all these with that, because that's their job, just to build stuff for them. Build stuff for people that hire them out. The joint ventures things, the incentive to an air conditioned manufacturer to license this product would be, it would set them apart as well. And it's a one-stop shop for their system. So since this doesn't exist, they would get kind of like first mover advantage for being the first air conditioning company to come out with this. Even though it'd be licensed, they'd still be the first one to have something similar. The impediments would be, why would they want to? Because this is something that not many people are asking for. It's one of those things where it's a latent demand, is what an old marketing guy taught me that it's called, where it's something that people could use and need, but they don't know that they need it, don't know they can use it, because they don't know it exists. Strategic alliances with the filter companies or smart home companies, the incentives is additional sales for the filter company, or additional things that they can offer for a smart home device company. But impediments, pretty much the same. Filter company could be like, well, we're attaching ourselves to this company. Or the smart home company, impediments would be, well, maybe they don't think we can maintain our end of the deal, or do a good enough job, or I don't know, do security patches, or maintain, what's the fancy word, compatibility as they change their system or something. Running out of time and looking through these real quick. Benefits, I'll just pull this one. What's the benefits for an exclusive partnership? If that was something with the air conditioning manufacturers, like we're selling something to them or licensing the system, the benefits would be they have an exclusive, so they would be the only air conditioning manufacturer that has this system standard. It would actually, in the beginning, it would be good for my startup, because you get a big boost of sales up front. But long term, I don't know that I'd want to tie myself to them too much, to an exclusive partnership. So if I did that, I probably would do like a semi-temporary one, like, hey, you get exclusive for the first 2-3 years or something like that. Cost of the partnership, no one talked back to me, so don't know yet. As far as the business model canvas, nothing's really changed much on there, except some of the pricing a little bit and some of the partners. But that's it, and coming right in under the wire, that 15-minute limit, and looking forward to next week. Thank y'all.